Alright, howdy ladies and gentlemen, this is Patio Potato Pants in the very first installment of Patty Talks. Today I have my good buddy Star Spirit here with me. This is actually going to be in kind of an interview format. For those of you that don't know, I've tried to do this video once before and I came out a stuttering nervous mess, so he's here to kind of keep me on track. Say hi, Stars.
Hey guys, this is Stars. I'm also known as Greg. Welcome.
Thank you, Stars. So the title of this video is cancer, chemo, post-chemo, what the doctors don't tell you about it. It's probably going to be abbreviated in the title, so I hope you're not offended by that. Anyways, if you're watching this, you're probably going through or know someone who's going through chemotherapy, has cancer, and the like. Now, I'm going to warn you, I have no idea how long this video is going to last. We're just gonna talk until we're done. If you get impatient and you have to do something, life happens, go ahead and pause us, like the page, bookmark it, whatever you do, and come back to it a little later. If it gets too long, we'll try to split it up into segments for your convenience. Now, a little bit of a disclaimer. Stars and I are not doctors.
Not at all.
We are not even in the medical profession. We don't claim to be. I am just doing this because these are questions that were answered the hard way for me. Yes, I had cancer. I had Hodgkin's lymphoma, went through chemotherapy. And, you know, I'm here to tell you that the things the doctors didn't really tell me. Yeah, that's that. Also, cursing. There will be a fair amount. Parents beware. If I offend your sensibilities, I do apologize, but, you know, this is how I talk. Hopefully the help that I bring will, you know, outweigh the the offense. Anyways, you're probably noticing right about now that there's a video game playing in the background, and that is mainly, well, first of all, because nobody wants to see my face while talking in a video. It'll show up very rarely, you know, if at all, in any of my videos. Also, video games, along with books and reading, are one of the main things that help me get through chemo. It helped me occupy my brain. You know, sometimes I barely had the energy to go from, you know, the chair to the computer chair and back. But, you know, this is kind of my ode to that. You know, this is what they're good for. Anybody who tells you that they're a waste of time, well, I don't believe them, because they help me out quite a bit.
Alright, Lyndon, you want to get started with the questions?
Let's do it.
Alright, well, what kind of role did the doctors play in helping you emotionally and physically while going through Hodgkin's lymphoma?
The doctors, they are a special breed of people. Highly intelligent social idiots. Now, keep in mind that your doctor, physician, you know, guy, girl, person is there for one reason and one reason alone. That is to make you better. It's not to spare your feelings, and quite often they don't understand when they've hurt them or bruised them. And, you know, little things like tact, which are huge at times like this, they sort of overlook. As an example, when I was in the hospital waiting for my diagnosis, I actually got my diagnosis over the phone while I was in the hospital bed. So, you know, like I said, they're they're present to make sure that you get what you need. You get the proper diagnosis. You get all the meds you need. They're there to decide the correct course of action. They're not there to be your shrink. And like I said, they don't really understand your feelings. They can't afford to, because if they took into account everyone's feelings, then I'm fairly sure they would have a mental breakdown themselves. So they've got to kind of turn that off.
All right. What about the nurses? How do the nurses play into all of this?
Nurses are amazing people. Nurses are your lifeline. Nurses are the people that you chat with when you're sick in the hospital. Nurses are the people who make sure the doctor doesn't mess up. They're the ones who give the doctor all of your readings. They're the ones who actually administer your medications. The doctors rarely do it. They're also the front line. These wonderful people are, they're the ones that are there for you mentally and psychologically. They answer your questions. They're there to try to help you out. While they're not your shrink, they're really good at what they do. Be nice to them. Because most of the time, I'd say 90% of the time, these people actually enjoy their job, and they're doing it because they actually care. So yeah, that's all I got about them. They're wonderful people.
All right. So along with the doctors and nurses, I mean, you also have a passenger with you, Hodgkin's lymphoma. How did that affect you personally on an emotional level, or how did it bend your personality on the daily?
Well, I suspected there was something wrong with me for a couple of years. Now, I'm probably going to get a, verbal slap on the wrist for saying this, but, that's how it went down. But as a person with no insurance, I couldn't afford to go into the doctor and, it just be a pulled ligament or a sore muscle or something like that. That being said, I let it go for quite a while, years. And near the end of my cancer, and just before the beginning of my chemo and diagnosis, I was a prick. I was an asshole. It was, I had waves and waves and waves of anger and frustration, and I'm kind of a prick to begin with, but this I like to think of myself as the comedic asshole. I don't really mean anything by it.
Passive aggressive.
Just something like that. But there at the end, I was just plain mean. And once I got my diagnosis, the doctors did. I asked the doctors about it, and they said, yeah, your body's fighting cancer. There are things backed up in your system. There are poisons leaking into your brain. Of course it's going to affect your mentality, your psyche, your moods. Everything to do with your brain is affected at this point. Because, it's like everything's going wrong, and your brain is one of the first things to be affected by it.
Yeah.